Guys, get in here real quick. I have an idea. We're gonna save Star Wars. Okay. Here's another thing. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rip off a niche kids show from a decade ago that if very few people watched. Okay. We're gonna pilfer it for a bunch of characters that people do not know. We're gonna staple them onto a series. Where are y'all going? Okay. No. Get back here. We're gonna staple them onto a show that reached maturity about a half decade ago, and we're gonna make it all a movie, and it's totally gonna work. Why is nobody applauding? I don't get it. Why is this a bad idea? You're just a bigot if you think this is a bad idea. Okay, no, this doesn't lean into the rumors that Mandalorian and Grogu isn't just simply a repurposed script of season 4. No, this wasn't hastily written on a plane ride across country by Jon Favreau. No, of course not. This is gonna be so much better than the atrociously received Mandalorian season 3. This is really gonna right the shot. I can barely keep this shit going, but we have some leaks as to who the main villain is, and yeah, guess what? In Dave Filoni's rampant narcissism, yeah, he's gonna bring in another one of his stupid-ass Clone Wars characters that nobody knows and nobody cares about, and that's gonna be the big bad that's gonna end up driving the plot. Bro, you're supposed to be setting up some dumb shit with Thrawn for this big old Mandoverse movie that barely anybody's gonna give a fuck about because nobody watched your shitty shows in general. The audience for your Disney live-action shows is a fraction of the audience that went to the theaters, what is that, 7 years ago. By the time that you release this slop, this is slated for May 22nd of 2026. So it's going to be, just about a half year short of 7 years since Star Wars was in theaters. And what's your great idea? The shiny Boba Fett, Baby Yoda, and Clone Wars characters. Be prepared for a $300 million box office. What the fuck? Embo to feature. What the hell is Embo? Did you misspell elbow? Is that what we're doing? Embo to feature as the main villain in Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. What a shit name. Another day and another scoop. Yeah. Christian Harloff, okay, has exclusively broke today via his YouTube show that Embo, the bounty hunter that was previously featured in Star Wars animated series The Clone Wars, and it was voiced by, you guessed it, Dave Filoni, is due to appear in the next live-action Star Wars theatrical release. Mandalorian and Grogu is being voiced by Dave Filoni, who voiced Embo's animated counterpart. Oh my god, it's the Mandalorian, it's Din Djarin. Oh my god, I hope you're here and you're gonna make a bunch of changes. It's gonna be crazy. Is that what his voice is? After a couple of busy days, yeah, all that crap. Okay, so yes, Embo's supposed to be the main villain. Embo's involvement in the feature film around the festive period, along with a handful of other details. Yeah. Harloff revealed that Rhoda the Hutt, I beg your pardon, Rhoda the Hutt, okay, plays a prominent role in the movie. Something I mentioned previously, the scooper here, Bespin Bulletin. But he thinks the movie is playing a similar storyline out as the Clone Wars. Oh wow, color me surprised. Star Wars is ripping off. Now at least they're jangling member berries from their own crap instead of just ripping off the decanonized Legends stuff. You know, the EU, right? All the expanded universe novels, the thousands and thousands of years of stories that Kathleen Kennedy came in and erased like that. Oh yeah, now we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna pilfer all of that stuff for all of our upcoming projects. How fantastic. Like how James Mangold, oh okay, here you go, here's the type of idiotic approach you have James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi, right? Okay, will be set 25,000 years before any known Star Wars movie. Interesting, right? Like his whole take on this, and it's interesting how Empire has this all, laid out for everyone after mixed responses received by such projects as the Book of Boba Fett, Rise of Skywalker, and recently the now cancelled Acolyte, which deserved a second season. No, it didn't. Well, it kind of does, because that was just funny to cover at the time. But anyways, it's clear that Mangold, who's writing Dawn of the Jedi with Andor alum Beau Willimon, okay, is ready to take on Star Wars in a new direction. With his contribution, and Mangold clarified the setting of his new Star Wars film and stressed he hopes to avoid toxic fandom discourse by distancing his work from established canon. Now, the Star Wars movie is would be taking place 25,000 years before any known Star Wars movies take place. It's in an area of the playground that I've always wanted to explore, and that was inspired by the teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable. You want to go to the beginning of the Jedi because you don't want to fuck around with canon, you don't want to fuck around with lore, but at the same time, you just want to build the lore, but you also don't want to be handcuffed by anything that has come before. LOL. Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi is a comic book series from Dark Horse Comics. Dawn of the Jedi is set almost 26,000 years before Star Wars A New Hope. Wow, imagine that. Something that is set 26,000 years beforehand. But hey, I guess James Mangold is going 1,000 years before that, but he doesn't want 1,000 years after that, so he doesn't want to be shackled by anything that has been, so he can go ahead and set what is to become. But all this has been decanons, right? It's just legends. Don't worry about that stuff, okay? Because Disney and Dave Filoni, they just want to reference their old stuff, you know, like the good stuff, you know, the stuff that they want to keep around. The people like Rhoda Hutt, who first appeared in, the Book of Boba Fett. Holy shit, man. Star Wars is so cooked at this point in time. And here's the thing. Just because you have obscure characters doesn't mean that you can't make a good movie. It's just, we've seen the writing of Dave Filoni, okay? We've seen how much effort Pedro Pascal puts in as the Mandalorian. What's going to be the big hook? Is Grogu finally going to say a line? Is he going to go da-da at the end, and then it's cut to credits, and all those creepy Raylos that are in the audience, both of them are just going to be wet in their 3/4 empty cinema? Okay, cool. Fantastic stuff. I forget who it was who originally made the point, but I've echoed it several times afterwards, so it's not my original thought. I'm parroting somebody else's because I think it's good, and it's very emblematic of several franchises that are out there, so it's not specifically a Star Wars phenomenon. But Star Wars at this point in time, it's not about telling any new stories. It's not about advancing the story of Star Wars. It's all about referencing itself. Star Wars is just about Star Wars now. It's not about telling a good story. It's not about fleshing out interesting characters. It's, hey, remember? Do you remember? Yeah, I do. And now the shit that you're trying to make us remember fucking sucked. And here's the thing. There's more rumors that are out there. Because obviously, like, Star Wars Celebration is taking place, I know it's in Japan. And I'm pretty sure it's in April. So we're very likely to get another trailer. We might get one around. I kind of doubt that there's going to be a Super Bowl trailer. But after Andor, there's nothing left this year. So at Celebration, yeah, they're probably going to announce a few other movies that'll never come out. And, you know, remind us all of all the other crap that's in the pipeline, like Mangold. They'll probably trot out Mangold with his goofy-ass Dawn of the Jedi film. That is very likely, like, of the 3 big announced films that's out there, I'd imagine that one's probably going to go into production because James continues to talk about it. And then the Rey movie, and then Filoni's crap Mando movie to wrap all of this stuff up so that they can move on to bigger and better things. Like, I legitimately don't know at this point in time. But Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie might get canceled if Mandalorian movie fails. Yeah, you're telling me that Dave Filoni's pet project, the guy who's head of creative over there at Lucasfilm, if his stupid movie bombs, he's going to go ahead and cancel his other stupid movies? Bro, his TV series have been bombing time and time again. He has his fingers in everything. He's had his fingers in everything, and they all continue to fail. Why would he, if given his highest pedestal, if giving his highest, most grandiose opportunity, why would he go ahead and cut himself off at the knees if his writing partner of Jon Favreau's stupid Mandalorian film flops? Why would he take that arrow? I don't think so. Star Wars Skeleton Crew creators have ideas for season 2, but will Disney move forward after the show's low ratings? Yeah, see, it'll be everybody else's fault because Skeleton Crew, like, it just wrapped up. Okay, I heard a couple of people's reviews from it, and again, it all ranges from, it was fine, it was all right, I guess. Like, Jude Law's character was interesting, and if we were to see anything, if there's a continuation that's out there, this character could be good if it's put somewhere else. Like, I'd like to see more of his story. That's the best review that I've heard to it, other than, it's just bad. It's just more crap Star Wars project. And that's all because Dave Filoni is all over this crap. He gave the green light. He gave the go-ahead on the Acolyte. He was hands-on with Book of Boba Fett. He was hands-on with Season 3 of Mandalorian, where everybody thought, oh, that's where it all really fell off a cliff. Go back and watch Mandalorian Season 2 if you thought it was great, and really analyze the plot and just see the characters for how they're written and not the key jangles that they are. Go back and really take a look at that Luke Skywalker reveal and see if he's actually in character. If he is Jake Skywalker, the Hermit, he's not that bad, but is he also, Luke Skywalker, save his father, topple the Empire, reestablish the Republic after the Return of the Jedi? If he's that character, guess what? He's neither. He's a creepy skinwalker that turns up, says nothing, takes the baby, and then pieces out. He doesn't ask what the hell is going on. Why are there Empire remnants that are still out there? Who the hell are you guys? What's going on? How do we stop this from getting bigger than how it is? But no, man. If people are going to continue to eat up the member berries, but we're seeing there's an ever diminishing amount of people willing to suck up the slop. At this point in time, Disney is too big to completely fail. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy are too hubristic to allow it to fail. Dave Filoni is never going to be told to take his action figures and get the fuck out of the sandbox, so he's going to be able to do whatever he wants moving forward because, hey guys, that season 1 of the Mandalorian show, that was a big success. And he knows who George is, so he knows how to do real Star Wars. So it's going to continue to continue to operate as a zombie brand, and the more slop that continues to pour out, will just continue to shrink the amount of tremendous content that made this a viable franchise, the biggest franchise in cinematic history at one point in time. But those days are long in the rearview mirror. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.